go off into the wilds of North America. And then
Check out Mr. Ballen, story time.
Bigfoot, the 8 to 10 feet
What you need to
tall,
listen to
intelligent,
before you go to bed.
Bipedal, hairy creature that kind of is a cross between man and beast. And there's literally been thousands of sightings of that particular creature all over North America.
Mr. Ballen, best storyteller. Whoa, what is it?
There's never been a substantiated
Mr. Ballen, the best storyteller out there.
Urban legend. But no matter how you feel about Bigfoot, whether it exists or it doesn't,
check him out. Go subscribe.
If you read through some of the first-hand accounts of these people who claim to have seen Bigfoot in North America, some of them are horrifying. And one account that stands out to me as being the most terrifying comes out of Oregon. There's a couple hotspots all over North America where some of the most sightings of Bigfoot occur, and one of them is in Oregon. In particular, it's the northwestern section of Oregon. And that's where today's story is going to come out.
It wasn't full of weirdos. I would live there.
Jeff was a Marine. He was then a police officer. Then he became a deputy sheriff, and then he ultimately became a lawyer. What really stands out to me about Jeff's story is that he strikes me as a credible, skeptical guy.
Really?
When interviewed, because he's been on a TV show called Paranormal Witness on the Sci-Fi Channel. He did a follow-on interview. You can Google him, Jeff Boiler's Bigfoot sighting. The way he tells the story,
he looks like someone who saw Bigfoot.
He's not trying to dress it up. He's not trying to make it more dramatic than it really was.
But he's on a TV show.
It's like he's just telling you what happened to him. And he's not trying to create a theory as to what it was, but rather
TV show, though.
Here it is. Here's what happened, as I remember it.
Is it?
And it allows you to listen to this story and really relate to it. And it makes it that much more eerie as you listen to what happened.
How do you relate to a Bigfoot story?
I'm going to be telling Jeff's story. But before I get into that, if you're a fan of the strange, dark,
like, subscribe, Mr. Ballen.
Story format with lots of distracting hand gestures, then you have come to the right place, because that is all I do, and I upload 3 to 4 times a week. So if that's something you'd be into, I would ask you to please gently disavow the like button, and then subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. All right, let's get into the story. Back in 1997, Jeff Boiler was a fit, single guy that had been in the Marine Corps for a little while, and then he had been a police officer, and now he was looking to do something new with his life.
And he's
always been a huge fan of nature. He loved hiking and hunting, and so he just kind of up and decided to move to Oregon to just be back in nature. And so he goes out to Oregon. He doesn't really know what he's going to do for a job. One of Jeff's friends, who is the elected sheriff of a very rural county in northwestern Oregon, reached out to Jeff and said, hey, you know, with your background,
how do you say
it? In the Marine Corps, you were a police officer. Would you want to be one of our deputy sheriffs out here in northwestern Oregon?
No, I'm good.
Jeff's like, wow, great, and took the job. So after being on the job for a couple of months, Jeff is really happy. He loves his job, and he gets off one day from work pretty early, and he steps outside, and he would recall that it was like one of the most beautiful days he had seen in recent memory. It was just this gorgeous day. And even though initially he was planning to just
go fishing, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you know what?
See Bigfoot.
He wanted to go to this fairly hard to access section of the woods. There was a little ways up the mountain where 20 years earlier he had actually buried one of his very close friends. And so he thought, you know what, today I'm going to make that trip up to his grave. I'm going to pay my respects. That's a good way to spend such
Can you just go bury your fucking
he hopped in his Jeep and he started driving over to the woods that would take him up to this grave site. It was an unmarked trail, but he had a map. He knew where it was, so he headed over.
I know Disneyland, they have to tell people to stop dumping ashes all over the place.
He was basically going to be hiking into a section of the Cascade Mountains that was unmarked. This is a very isolated, unmarked area, and in fact, Jeff would even say that sometimes when you would walk around this section of the Cascade Mountains, you would wonder to yourself,
check it out.
Has anyone ever been here before? Like, this is such a wild and open expanse. Am I the first person to ever step foot here? It's a section of Oregon that is totally just wild. So Jeff arrives at the dirt lot that's right on the edge of this.
Does Bigfoot count as a person?
This mountain. And before he steps in and starts making his way up, he gets his map out and he kind of roughly charts a course. Because again, there's no trail in here. He puts his map away and he begins walking up this mountain. He's been walking for
He's so good at his stories, man.
Rain's really bad, and he decides, you know what? Why don't I?
Like Mr. Ballen is so good. I just have to pause for a second. Excuse me. Excuse me. But he is so good at storytelling. It is fucking amazing. I don't know why. It's just he has a pleasant voice. Like I feel like I'm his kid and he's telling me a spooky story. It's good shit.
I deviate from the course that I was on and try to get to a more open area that might be able to kind of bank around to get up to the gravesite. He looked on the map and he could
Can
see
you
that
go just bury your
homie
like that?
There seemed to be a strip of clearing where it might be easier going. It would require a bit of work to get over to it, but once he was there, he believed he could get up to the gravesite. So before he makes that movement over the clearing, there was a stream running right next to him, freshwater stream, and so he just bends down, he splashes some water on his face, he gets a drink, and before he actually starts moving towards this clearing, because now he's deviating.
Am I the only one that sees Bigfoot?
And this is an unmarked
and thinks he don't look that
so
big.
He knew that he would need to be really certain where he was going. He didn't have a GPS. You know, this is 1997. He just had his map and compass. So he pulls out his map one more time. He looks at where he needs to go.
Like if he's real, Bigfoot
so he
real,
pulls out his compass,
no way he's that big.
Azimuth,
no way.
Which basically is a way to make sure you're going in the right direction. And so he pulls the
8 feet, 12 feet. That's fucking stupid. Oh, commercial.
They freshly slice your sub right in front of you, which takes some training.
Who is that guy's name? What'd I say? Who is that guy?
The Jersey Mike's thing.
Sonny from Philadelphia is the only movie I remember him in.
I'm in charge of making
what movies is he in?
And everything is protected.
What are you doing?
And I'm in charge of doing one of the best jobs in the world, which is our special.
Shut up.
Shut up. About 20 feet above him, there is a tree and a boulder, and behind that tree,
if you see Bigfoot, do you shoot him?
He lowers his compass and he just kind of glances over, and he can tell that it's
clearly
a figure. It's got two eyes in its head, and it's looking at him. And
go to Mr. Ballen, like and subscribe.
This is a person who's kind of poking their head.
Like this video too if you want.
And it's
That'd be tight.
He knows he's out in the middle of nowhere.
Peace and love.